Okay guys, I can't really remember if I took a video of this when I tore it apart. I think I did. It was during the electric start cart project where I made half this starter into the other one. I just finally got the starter rebuild air quotes kits from GT Gravely Parts today. They were on back order, didn't have the brushes, I think Todd said. Regardless, anyhow. So I'm gonna give you guys a little tip here because I already had screwed up before I turned the camera on. Do not try and hammer these brush pins out from the back side and think you're gonna get somewhere that they're seized up. What you need to do, and what I did here, is I took a pair of vice grips. I'm not gonna be able to do this while holding the camera, but take the vice grips and get the pin to spin. Alright, and then once you get the pin to spin, you can slowly pull up on it and work it out, because the pins are not supplied in the kit. So you don't want to screw them up. These pins are actually really long. I gotta hold it on through. For all I know, this may be a 16 penny nail ground down. Kinda what it looks like. Not exactly. So I wouldn't go with that, but if you have to make new ones, I mean, it's not the end of the world. So let me, off camera, get this apart, and I'll do one side at a time, make sure I get it back together right. I'm just going to pull this pin out and see what it does. This was the side without the spring on. I know it's going to be entertaining to get the pin in with the spring, trying to spring it at the same time. So anyhow, like I said, let me get this apart, and I'll see about picking up the tripod so you guys can see. Alright guys, here's another little trick that I come up with. I get these old brush screws out. I really don't want to damage the wire because the wires are good, and like I said, they're not included with the kit. So I just want to replace the brushes. You get the old screw out, they're flathead. The new ones actually have hex on them, which down the road when they get rusty will be good. I want to make sure I don't drop this on the floor when the screw comes out. The plus side, I have rubber floor mats under my bench here, so if something falls, it doesn't, not like it falls on concrete and shatters. So hopefully you guys could see that. I apologize. My dimly lit cave is dimly lit, as you'd expect. So the one I just took off was the all steel side, not the what I'll call the plastic or the poly side. So the plastic side goes over here, the metal side goes over there. Basically it goes like so, if I'm not mistaken. And then basically that spring goes on the old one. The spring goes from there to there. How the heck do they want you to do that on the new one? Because it's got a flat across the back where the brushes go. See the difference? Oh, okay. It actually rubs on the back of that. Okay, I see how this works now. Okay, like I said, let me get this one side together and I'll show you guys the second side if you really want to watch. I hear you guys, I want to see it. Hold on a minute. Not gonna lie, that first one took a lot longer than I expected it would. Okay, so since last clip, I figured out a couple different things. A is there's two different types and lengths of screws. The short Phillips head screws appear to go with the metal brush holder and brush, and the longer hex-headed 1/4 inch bolt screw goes with the plastic brush holder. I figured that out. So see if we can't get. said, man, that brushes are tight. The other thing is, hopefully I got the angle right. Yeah, I think so. Okay, toss. I'm going to keep these old brushes because these brushes actually were not too awful bad. So I want to keep them and the screws in my junk drawer. Because why? Because I'm a gravely hoarding Turchek. That's why. I guess we could do this one. Here's what I do. I set it out, think about it. Need a brush. Hopefully you guys are in frame there. Hopefully you guys can see this. These brushes are actually on a bit of an angle. What you want to do is you want the longer part of the brush furthest away from the holder. Basically you want to go like this. I guess you want it further away from the pivot, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this one takes the long bolt. Obviously you guys aren't going to be able to see this side exactly, but you can get the gist of what I'm up to. The fun part is trying to get this cotton picking pin in and the spring and the hole to line up at once. We'll see if I got the technique down yet. Took me a little while with the first one. I sat down and come back and then it went right together, which is about normal for working on tractor stuff. You gotta set it down, walk away for a bit. Hopefully the rain on the metal roof ain't screwing you up too bad. I could shut the window to the back. The back show up, I guess. Back lean to. 1/4 inch wrench would really speed this up too. And I'm actually building this starter. It's going to go on the Phoenix project. Since it's at such a weird angle with the chainsaw on it, and I'll probably always have the chainsaw on it. Okay, so I got that brush put together. Kind of, to an extent, set it in place. And I'll pop this one out. And the same thing, we'll basically just use the vice grips to keep it from rolling, and that way you can hold it. I'm going to grab down here as close to the brush as you can. That one wasn't too awful bad. Probably what I should do is put these screws back with the brushes and the holders, huh? Somebody screwed with these because I got all different screws in them. Well, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'll do them a couple later. Won't hurt. So I'm going to go like this. The long arm goes on the bottom. The flat goes towards the back. The long side of the brush goes furthest away from the arm. And you need this Phillips headed screw. Did I flip that screw? I think I did. If I didn't, I'm going to flip it over because I don't like that. Should be like this. That way there ain't no twists in the wire, I believe. That's the way I would do it. Because the more tension and twist you have in the wire, the more likelihood it would break if it ever got... If you ever superheated it, like you had to crank on it a long time. What did I do with that Phillips screwdriver head? Right here. Okay, that's tight. So, one trick I got to say about this is you want to start the spring on the black plastic brush holder first, and you may say why. Well, it's not hollow on the back; it's solid. So when you put it in there, the spring won't kick around, and it sets the depth. So basically, you can pretty much set the spring on this down in here. Okay. So pretty much, this is not an exact science by any means. It's a kind of a convoluted pain. Here as I can tell. Oh no, the one side is longer. I want to say the longer side goes there, I think. I'm actually questioning myself now. I don't know if I assembled the first side correctly or not. So, what you gotta do is kind of stretch the spring over here so it's on the back of that brush. And it definitely is not. Like I said, this is, for lack of better words, this is really just a royal pain to get these all started. This is like juggling a bunch of pieces to a jigsaw puzzle all at once. So, now we got that side started. The first one, I bet you it took me 15 minutes before I got this all lined up. Believe me, you're gonna get mad. Mad is a understatement. Maybe the best thing to do is take and put the brushes together like this. Put the brushes together so the pins will line up. Put it around the back and see if you can fend-dangle the whole setup down in here. Nope, lost one. I think I got it started. In a moment. Like I said, you guys will not be able to see this on camera. Let's see, right there, I just got the pin started. So, now I more or less spin the pin down through and lightly tap it with something, it'll go together like that. I already, hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, I already got the new bushing in here. It just pops in. It's actually not a real snug fit, which I'm not real fond of, but what can you do? So I think what I'm gonna do before I do that is, I don't think there's any way to hold these brushes open that I'm real aware of. So, about all I know to do is, hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, you can kind of see. Just gonna have to go down through and work the brushes open and try and get this thing started down here. And it's a lot nicer when you don't have one side that the brushes are hard to get the whole way open, like so. I don't know why that side is such a royal pain. Nothing broke, it's just a pain in the ass. Like I said, I wonder if I got the brushes or the spring installed backwards on that one. My brushes started down in. I'm going to tell you guys this right now, be very careful working around this with your fingers. Just like that, if you play around with it long enough, you'll get it to go down in there. So now, the kit includes, hopefully I'm not reflecting light in your guys' eye, but it includes a new back cover. And basically, that just sits down on here and it indexes off the front cover. I'm going to put some grease on this later. The front cover has a pin. Hopefully you guys can see this pin hole right here. So the cover will in theory, only go on one way. In theory. Right there. And of course that bushing is deciding it's going to be a pain in my side. So I might attempt to put it together later. Should be about there if memory serves me correctly. Thing is, I only really got one bolt that's the right length. Because I'll show you guys what come out of this starter. Basically, the bolt on my left, your guys' right here, is a normal one. And this was something I MacGyvered up to use this. The threads go down about as far as they'll go in there. So, this is actually inside the starter, and this sticks out over here. It works. But I would like to get new bolts, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bolt with me to work. And hopefully you guys are still in frame, mostly. As long as you guys as long as I don't forget tomorrow after work, I'll try and get some long 1/4-inch bolts like this. I mean, I don't have Tractor Supply. I'll have anything that long. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably not. But it's worth a look. And then we'll continue on this tomorrow night. And then I'll I'll bench test this starter, and we'll get a starter plate put on the Phoenix. And I also bought 3 brand new chains just because I don't feel like screwing with it and counting links and putting master links in and blah blah blah. So, continue on this tomorrow night, guys.